Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is gonna be a little bit different from my regular content, which is none. So basically the entire channel is gonna be like this from now on, which is this one video. And I'm gonna be doing some pretty consistent uploads, similar to what I've been doing before. One upload every 3 years or so. So you can expect another video coming out in 2024. Or I might do one in a couple months just to get it out of the way. Or I might completely forget about it. You might get it in 2028. Who knows? I think I kind of knew that I had this channel for the last few years, but I didn't really. So yeah, this is my speech on LGBT free zones in Poland. I believe that all of us have either seen or experienced some level of homophobia in our lives, even if you haven't realized it for yourself. Now, I'm just talking about the small things, like your parents bring up the awkward conversation of dating, and you have a boyfriend if you're female, or a girlfriend if you're male. But they always just assume you're straight. And that's a tiny thing, but it's still there. But on the opposite side of the spectrum, we have the extreme acts of homophobia. That's what I'm going to be focusing on today. In Poland, 1/3 of the country have declared themselves LGBT ideology free zones. And that one word specifically, ideology, is what makes this a massive issue. They have spread the idea that the LGBTQ plus community is attempting to destroy the traditional Polish family and have compared us to communism, saying we are even more of a threat. Although this may not matter to you, as we are not, as you may not be in Poland, and as you may not identify as a part of the LGBTQIA community, but this is still a violation of human rights. The propaganda put forth by over 100 regions dehumanizes a community simply because of their identity. Think about that for a second. 16% of LGBTI people in Poland have reported being attacked from the police because of their identity. That may not sound like much, but let me phrase it this way. Almost a fifth of all people who identify as LGBT have been harassed/attacked by the police simply because of who they are. And that's just the ones who've reported it. They are almost certainly much more too scared to come forth because doing so may place a target on their heads. Many of the LGBTQI community have abandoned their lives and fled from their homes because of these zones. And those who stayed behind are there to fight for their rights. It is not easy to live in one of these zones as a member of the LGBTQIA community, since people just allow others to harass and beat up members of our community without consequence. In fact, both the government and the church encourages this behavior towards the group. It is so extreme that 70% of LGBTQI people have experienced anti-LGBTI violence either psychologically or physically. Can you imagine that? Some of you that have a basic understanding of the LGBTQIA community may have noticed that I haven't mentioned anything about transphobia. This is because most people don't have the slightest understanding of the trans community, since it is rather complex, so I won't get into specifics about the functionality of gender identities and so on. But I will speak up about Poland's issues with it. In Poland, it has been made illegal to get hormone blockers or to receive surgery for transitioning. The government claims that these are harmful actions that people will come to regret later on. But 99% of those who receive the surgery never have any regrets about taking it. In fact, most of the time, this surgery is life-saving for transgenders, and yet the government insists on banning it. Although it is not legally enforced, it is dangerous to wear non-traditional clothes for your sex, as this severely increases your chances of being attacked due to transphobia. If any of this intrigues you, please look into it yourself, and there are petitions going around to stop these zones. And to all of you, try to treat people the way you want to be treated, no matter what your beliefs are. We are all human and deserve to be treated so, regardless of our sex, race, religion, sexual/romantic orientations, gender, culture, economic status, physical/mental disorders, and so on. We are all one and the same. Think about that before you judge someone. Just think about it. Thank you.